I'd like to call the regular school board meeting for December 8th to order. Can I have roll call, please?
Ms. Funderburg? Here. Mr. Minkiewicz?
Here.
Ms. Kraut? Here. Ms. Roscoe? Here. Ms. Buckley? Here. Mr. Kuderich?
Present.
April Frere is also present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If any member of the board or any citizens request discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion of the agenda. And having none, I need a motion.
Mr. President, I will make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Motion by Ms. Freyer,
Support.
supported by Ms. Buckley. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next item is report of the superintendent. Mr. Weiss?
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, we have our presentation from Barth Elementary School, and I'm happy to report that they chose a topic that's near and dear to many of us, and that's writing process, and particularly an emphasis that's been prevalent in our district over the last several years, and that's the 6+1 writing trait. So I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Lynn and company, and they have a PowerPoint presentation. I think I can help you.
Is there, yeah, it happened from back there. I'm not sure what happened. Well, I'll get started a little bit. We're here to present the 6+1 traits of writing. And I put also a copy of the PowerPoint on your desk there also.
Mr. Weiss.
Went too far though. Okay. All right, and my name is Jerry Lynn Beatty. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the learning specialist over at Barth Elementary. And tonight we have many students here, and some teachers are also here. But I'm going to start with kind of a brief overview of the 6+1 traits. And basically there are 6 traits: ideas, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, conventions, and then the +1 stands for presentation. In Romulus, in the summer of 2004, the curriculum director at the time sent 4 of us to Oregon to get trained in the actual 6+1 trait writing model. And we came back from training. The training was in July. We came back in the 2004-2005 school year. 2 of us trained all the elementary teachers, and the other 2 trained the secondary teachers. So this year, since we've had many new teachers since the beginning of the training, we decided to kind of train everybody again. So this year in our first, maybe a couple PD, professional development days in the beginning of the year, we actually taught the teachers again the whole 6+1 trait writing model. This year also, all the schools are teaching the traits. And so every 2 months, we are required to turn in a sample of our writing from students to the curriculum director so that everyone's kind of on the same page, that everyone's doing the traits, and we kind of compare the students' writing across the district. So far it's been very positive. I know Mr. Hurst really enjoyed reading the first set of writing samples. And the first trait is actually ideas. And that was what teachers taught when we came back to school in September. Through October, they taught ideas to their children. And ideas are basically the heart of the message, the content of the piece, the main theme, together with the details that enrich and develop that theme. And then some of the lessons, many of the schools have purchased what we call the Traits Classroom Kit. And inside are lessons for each, I can kind of pass this around if you want to look at it. But inside are basically lessons for each of the traits. And some of the ideas lessons would teach maybe writing a clear main idea, how to write a narrow and manageable topic, maybe using your senses, like how would you use your sense of sight, touch, hearing, and then using accurate, unusual, and interesting details. So students go through a various amount of lessons, and then do a final piece. The second graders actually sang a song about the ideas piece, and they're going to come up here right now and kind of sing you their idea song. So I need all the second graders to come up to the front. And this is something that they did in their classroom, and it actually came from a book. And probably you're going to face the board, you guys. Turn around the other way. Yep. We're going to face all the board members. Okay, and they're going to sing you their idea song, and these are all second graders. So on the count of 3, guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Write your thoughts, make your ideas clear. Tell the reader what you know and what you hold most dear.
And that's, so do the row, row, row your boat. And so they're going to come up in a little bit later and also sing an organization song. Good job, guys. You can sit back down. Okay. And then here I put up a lesson that actually was a lesson using literature. Some of the teachers like to use literature in their classroom, Children's Lit, and this lesson actually came from a series called The Trait Crate, and I'll actually pass this around also. And this story was called A Bad Case of the Stripes. And what the teacher did with her students was she read the story to the students, and they kind of talked about what was the main idea, what was the big theme of the story, and then what they had to do was get in groups and actually write their own story. Okay, and the stories were like really creative. The kids had to pick these little cards, and the card would have like a character on the card. They pick a card, and then also like a problem. So the sample I'm going to show you, the sample card said a cowboy who was afraid of horses, and then the sample problem card had to do with him talking in rhyme. And so here's a story that they actually wrote. And this was written by 3 fourth graders, and Miss Gursky's our teacher over here, and actually Paul is one of the students that actually wrote the story. And so this is called Roses Are Red, Violets Are Blue. This cowboy rhymes, how about you? And what they did was they had to kind of get together and as a group write the story, and it's actually ended up being really cute. Starts off, it was a beautiful sunny day, perfect for rounding some horses at the ranch. It was Jake's first time rounding up horses down at Green Hill Ranch. The horses there looked muscular and vicious. Jake was petrified by the horrible sight. He couldn't believe he was coming near what he called monsters. Hey, Jake, we got to get to the horses rounded up and in the ranch, his friend Nathan exclaimed. As they drew near the horses, Jake's stomach felt like doing cartwheels all around his body. He froze, body motionless, as if his bones were gone. Just then, out of nowhere, Jake spoke the most unfamiliar thing he had said in his lifetime. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm afraid of horses. How about you? Nathan replied, I'm not afraid of horses. Then out of the barn came the rest of Jake's friends, Jacob, Dwayne, Kim, and Jess. His friends greeted him, and then, hickory dickory dock, the cowboy ran up a clock. Is he rhyming? Jess asked Nathan. Oh, no, he isn't. He's just playing, Nathan exclaimed. Nathan went to talk with Jake. Hey, dude, what's wrong? Jake had fear running through his veins. Finally, when Jake could hold it no more, he screamed at the top of his lungs, I am afraid of horses. Everybody said, great, now we have an advertiser. Jake was astonished that he didn't have to work on horses, but he could still work at the ranch. He thanked them and went to his duty. And the theme of this was to be yourself. And so the kids really enjoyed this lesson because they had to do with modeling other children's lit to write up their own. So it's kind of like a fun ideas writing. The second trait, which is called organization, is what all the teachers in the district are working on at this time. And this final piece will be due right before Christmas break, and then they'll go on to the next trait. But organization has to do with the internal structure, the thread of central meaning, the logical and sometimes intriguing pattern of the ideas within a piece of writing. And so some of the lessons that will be in that kit would be how to write a strong lead, how to put things in logical sequencing, keeping up the pace of your writing so that it's not boring, using thoughtful transitions, and then writing a satisfying ending. So all the students will be working on little mini lessons that teach those different skills. And now we have our second graders who also have another song for you. And this song actually, Mr. Cook, our music teacher, he worked real hard with them on this song during music class. So they're going to come up one more time. guys are doing good. Okay, right to the front again. And they're going to sing you their organization song. Okay, on the count of 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
A good beginning in learning helps to shape your writing. Placing details really makes sense. Pop, it's inviting. You started off with something fine. Next comes something exciting. Your perfect ending wraps it up. Bam! Now you're writing.
That was good.
Very nice. And that song came from Pop Goes the Weasel, the same tune. And then what we thought we'd show you is some of the actual student writing samples. Now in your packet I also put a couple rubrics through in there, how the teachers actually score the papers, and then some other samples. Towards the back of your packet will actually be their writing samples. It says at the very back it'll say like organizational writing by student readers. And we're going to start right here. You ready? And this is going to be Kendall, and she's going to come read her, or actually Jaden. Jaden's first. She's going to read her organization paper that she's been working on. And she's in first grade at Barth. Okay, so you're going to stand right here. I'll hold it for you. Can you hold it and read it? I'll hold it.
Do you like to roll marbles down hills? Boy, do I have an experiment for you. You will need to gather a slope, a table, a chair, a roll of tape, a marble, a pencil, a paper. First set up the table and chair with the slope. Next roll the marble down the slope. Then see how far it went. Finally you write it down. Now you know how far it goes. Wasn't that fun?
Very good. And they worked on a science project. It's actually a science experiment. And so the writing kind of went with their science experiment, and they learned to use transition words like first, then, next, finally, and they wrote all about what they did for their science experiment. Okay, next we have Kendall, and she's going to read you her first grade writing.
Do you like to roll marbles down hills? Boy, do I have an experiment for you. A slope, a marble, a chair, a table, a roll of tape, a yardstick, a paper, a clipboard.
Those are her materials.
First you lay the slope on top of the desk. Next, I roll the marble down the slope. Then, when it stops, I get it and I see the number. Finally, I put it on the paper. Now you know how far it goes. Wasn't that fun?
Good job, Kendall. Okay, and then we have just a couple second graders. We have John, who's going to read his story, and they could just write pretty much about anything, but it had to kind of be using the organization traits. Okay, so come on, John. And also not forgetting the ideas trait, so making sure they have lots of good details, good ideas, but also being very organized. And his is quite long, but it's very good.
It was a cold Christmas night. Me and my brother were fast asleep. Then I saw some green stuff shining in my eyes. When I woke up, I saw my dad, and he was the one shining a light in my eye. Then he said Santa Claus came and brought presents, so come on. And I said, oh yeah, right. If I walk in the living room, and I will see a avalanche of presents. And I walked in the living room, and when I saw the presents, I said, how many are there, huh? So I went off tearing wrappers and struggling to get my presents open. Even though it was still dark, I still wanted to try out my new game. I couldn't beat it, but I will get better at it. Then I went to the living room so I could see what other cool toys I got. I got laser tag, a giant robot, a remote control car with a plastic airplane, Star Wars webs, and more. I love Christmas, I said, and everyone else said that too. And they meant it. Then I woke up my brother and I said, "Wake up, Michael. It's party time." Then I showed him the presents and I said, "Are you okay?" My brother almost fainted, but I said the party's not over yet. Then I helped him open his presents and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is fun." I said our hearts were beating fast, we were breathing fast, and paper was flying in the air. And then my mom took a picture of me and my brother opening our presents on Christmas is fun. Then I said, "I will never forget this, Mom, Michael, Dad, and my dog Sam."
Okay, we have one last reader, and that's Haley from second grade also. There you are. And she also could pick any topic, just had to be very organized and lots of details.
Last year I went into the haunted house and my heart was racing with fear. Suddenly my friend's dad jumped out and scared me. I was so scared to move. I was so scared that I wanted to run out of there, but I had to face my fears of haunted houses. So I walked through the haunted house some more, and bam, another guy jumped out and scared me. And then he went back into the little place that he jumped out and scared me at. Then I walked through the haunted house some more, and then I saw scary things all around me, and then it was all over. I was so excited.
Very good. All right, now that's basically the end of our ideas and organization presentation. Did anyone have any questions about the program we're using? No? Okay, well, thank you for listening. I know Ms. Skolka wants to say a few words before our school is done.
I just hope all of you enjoyed our presentation. Mrs. Beatty and the students and the staff have done an excellent job. 6+1 is very much a part of the school district, and I'm sure that Mr. Hurst is going to have other schools present the other 4 traits. Okay. At this time, I'm going to have Mrs. Sheila Stazak come up because we are going to honor 2 of our parent volunteers who saved the district a lot of money by facilitating the Fit Pit over at Barth. And at this time, I'm going to turn this over to Sheila.
First of all, I'd like to say thanks for your support financially and otherwise. These are 2 of my star athletes. As you know, we have 7 different stations in our Fit Pit, and these gentlemen received a medal in all 7 stations. At this time, they'd like to show you their right there. I'm going to brag on them just a little bit. Zachary received a Kong, which was the highest medal in the step test and the vault bar. He received 2 golds in the mile run and the parallel bars. He received a silver for the horizontal ladder, and he received 3 bronze medals in the sit-ups, pull-ups, and the pole climb. Paul, on my left, received the same number of medals. He had an extra Kong. He had a Kong for the vault bar, the pole climb. He went up and down 10 times. The horizontal ladder, the parallel bars, he received a gold. The mile run, he received a gold. Silver, he received, for silver, he received one for the step test and pull-ups, and he received a bronze for sit-ups. So at this time, we have a gift for the board. We have a picture of our Fit Pit and some of the construction, some from our ribbon cutting ceremony. We also have a book that we've made. Straight ahead.
Thank you.
And now we'd like to also honor our 2 foremen of our operation. And don't kill the messenger. It wasn't my idea. No. If I could have Mr. Littler and Mr. McFall come on up, please. Without these 2 gentlemen, our Fit Pit would have never come to be. These 2 gentlemen spent numerous hours. In fact, it got to be a joke that every morning I would look out, Mr. McFall would be out there doing something. They did the landscaping. They leveled everything. They put in cement, poured cement, painted old equipment so it would look as new as the new stuff, landscaped, pulled weeds, you name it. If it had to be done, they did it or got a crew together to do it. So at this time, our young star athletes would like to present you with a book. We also made one for you. Thank you very much. On behalf of the students of Barth and definitely myself, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Don't go back to your seat.
Don't sit
Oh,
up yet, gentlemen.
excuse me.
You're not done.
We can go.
Can I run yet?
Okay.
May I, introduce?
Go ahead.
We would also like to recognize the hard work and dedication of Mr. Littler and Mr. McFall. And personally, I remember being out there, and I think it was the beginning or middle of July when they just assembled most of the things they were lying on the gymnasium floor, and there was nothing outside at all. And it's pretty miraculous that they were able to turn it from that into the way it ended up. I think we all saw that on the day of the dedication. So Board of Education also has a little recognition, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Ms. Buckley.
It's my pleasure to read this for Mr. McFall. Romulus Community Schools Board of Education Resolution. Whereas Project Fit America is a national agency out of California that works with local schools to create new opportunities for children to be active, fit, and healthy. And whereas Barth Elementary School, in conjunction with Annapolis Oakwood Hospital, received a grant in the amount of $16,000 for outdoor fitness equipment. And whereas installation of the Project Fit equipment required numerous hours of work in landscaping, assembly of equipment, and removal of old equipment. And whereas Norma McFall, parent volunteer, Barth Elementary School undertook co-leadership of installation and assembly of equipment for completion of Project Fit. And whereas Norma McFall gave unselfishly of his time for completion of the Project Fit installation to help students at Barth Elementary have an opportunity to become more active, fit, and healthy. And whereas Norma McFall, along with other parent volunteers, were able to provide a substantial savings to the district for installation fees. Now therefore be it resolved that the Romulus Board of Education, speaking on behalf of all the people of this community, does hereby extend sincere appreciation to Norman McFall for his outstanding leadership, dedication, and hard work in the completion of Project Fit at Barth Elementary School. It's signed by our President, Tom Kuderick, our Secretary, April Frere, on this 8th day of December. Congratulations and thank you.
I would just like to add that that's grant volunteer. Our flag is grant
To you.
Not get in the way. Romulus Community School District Board of Education Resolution. Whereas Project Fit America is a national agency out of California that works with local schools to create new opportunities for children to be active, fit, and healthy. And whereas Barth Elementary, in conjunction with Annapolis Oakwood Hospital, received a grant in the amount of $16,000 for outdoor fitness equipment. And whereas the installation of the Project Fit equipment required numerous hours of work in landscaping, assembly of equipment, and removal of old equipment. Whereas Richard Littler, parent volunteer, Barth Elementary School, undertook co-leadership of the installation, assembly of equipment for completion of the Project Fit. And whereas Richard Littler gave unselfishly of his time for completion of the Project Fit installation to help students of Barth Elementary School have the opportunity to become more active, fit, and healthy. Whereas Richard Littler, along with other parent volunteers, were able to provide a substantial savings to the district for installation of fees. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Romulus Board of Education, speaking on behalf of all the people of this community, does hereby extend sincere appreciation to Richard Littler for outstanding leadership, dedication, hard work, and completion of Project Fit, Barth Elementary School, signed President, Board of Education Thomas Kudrick, Secretary, Romulus Board of Education April Freyer, given on the 8th day of December 2008.
Separately?
Okay, next, Mr. President, we have a student reinstatement. We're requesting the,
We have motions to make on the resolution.
oh, I'm sorry.
I need a motion for the resolution.
I'll make a motion, move the Board of Education adopt the resolution for Richard Littler for undertaking co-leadership of Project Fit installation at Barth Elementary School.
Support.
Okay, motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. McKevitt. Is there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we adopt the resolution for Norman McFall for undertaking co-leadership of Project Fit installation at Barth Elementary School.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Buckley, supported by Ms. Roscoe. Is there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Okay. Next, we have two student reinstatements. We're requesting, the administration is recommending that the board approve the reinstatement of student 20020381.
Mr. President, I make a motion that the Board of Education concur with the recommendation of panel for conditional reinstatement for student number 2002031 to be readmitted to the Romulus Community Schools effective December 9th, 2008, conditioned upon the following. MET, multidisciplinary evaluation team needs to be completed. The student will be enrolled in 9th grade. The student must attend after-school tutoring, development, behavior plan with administration, parent, and student.
Support.
Okay, I got a motion by Ms. Buckley, supported by Mr. Minkevich. Is there any questions? Seeing none, vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, we're also requesting the reinstatement of student 2001622.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to recommend that we readmit student 20011622. Move the Board of Education concur with the recommendation of the panel for conditional reinstatement for student number 20011622 to be readmitted to the Romulus Community Schools effective December 9th, 2008, conditioned upon the following. 1, that the student will complete graduation requirements through the alternative education program, and 2, that the student will receive a community high school diploma.
Support.
Is that Sandy? I got a motion by Mr. Minkiewicz, supported by Mrs. Kraut. Is there any questions? Seeing none, vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, next on the report of superintendent, we're requesting a resolution for a paid consultant in the area of teacher evaluation. I just want to take a minute to explain this. The administration is recommending that we contract with Dr. James Rowley, who's a professor on the faculty at the University of Dayton and an area expert in not only teacher evaluation, but also professional development of teachers and administrators, in adopting an evaluation system that focuses on what we call the instructional core. The administration over the last 2 years has been honing their skills in terms of teacher observation, and we're identifying areas where we can have the most impact with student achievement. And what we focused on are teacher knowledge and skills, student engagement, and challenging curriculum. Now it's time that we address our teacher evaluation system and develop an evaluation system that's more aligned with what our instructional goals are for students. And so it's with that rationale that I would like to employ Mr. Rowley to basically provide an evaluation system and help us develop an evaluation system that provides structure and a framework for new teachers, encourages professional growth for veteran teachers, and also a prescriptive approach for teachers who might not be achieving their standards of performance. So those 3 tiers, and that's what we're requesting here tonight.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for the resolution for teacher evaluation consultation services with Dr. James Rowley.
Got a motion by Mr. Minkiewicz, supported by Ms. Buckley. Is there any questions? None? Okay. Mr. Weiss, you mentioned that this is for administrators too. So are we gonna, if we still have time and the funds are there, are we gonna kind of use them for some of our administrators to kind of hone our skills here too a little bit?
Yes, actually part of the scope of Mr. Rowley's work will be helping administrators to develop their observational skills, their classroom observational skills and communication skills with teachers.
Okay. Great. Okay. Any other questions?
Uh,
By Mr. Minkiewicz?
This is strictly for teachers as far as the evaluation. Do we still do evaluation of all the other unions, the individuals, custodians, what have you? But they wouldn't fall under this particular framework, is that correct?
That's correct. This involves our professional staff, so not just our teachers, but all of our certified staff as well. That would include counselors, social workers, psychologists. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, need a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. All right.
At this time, Mr. President, I probably should have done this a couple motions ago. I wanted to thank all of the parents and students and teachers for their participation tonight from Barth Elementary. You represent your school very well, and it's very nice to have you all here. And we don't want to keep you past anybody's bedtime. We won't consider it rude if you would like to leave right now, but you're welcome to stay also. Thank you. Cheers.
Carolyn.
Get that.
You did a great job.
Good job.
Thank
No,
you.
you do good.
Nice job. Thank you.
Carolyn, nice job.
You were Ken? Yeah.
What's his next job?
Something when he's looking at the paper when they were reading it.
Yeah, you do.
They memorized, they must have been practicing
Yeah.
for a while.
Seen that.
Yeah.
No. He's put his wife to work.
I saw her begin to school, but I didn't pick up on it.
That's awesome.
I know she has the but they have to be quite a few years apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They have to.
Yeah.
She's been there a long time.
Oh, yeah. She,
She's groomed them. Yep, whenever you're
Okay,
ready.
moving right along.
Everybody's gone.
Next item, and I think I discussed this with most of you.
Hold on one second, Carl. You're still hugging.
All right. Sandy, are you available on the 16th? It's a week from tomorrow for a study session for policy. Okay. If I turn the microphone up a little bit.
Even on?
Yeah, they're on. At this time, I just wanted to reaffirm that we wanted to have another policy discussion or study session, and it sounded like in informally polling you that everybody was available on the 16th. That's a week from tomorrow. My only question is, would a 5 o'clock start be too early for some of you, or should we start at 5:30?
5 o'clock is good for me.
5 o'clock's good for me.
Sandy?
that's fine. I'm just around a corner.
Can
All right,
everybody make
me.
it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we will start at 5 o'clock. Bring your 7,000 section. We'll pick up where we left off. And we'll plan on staying for a couple hours, whatever it takes maybe to get through the 7,000s. Hopefully we can knock that one off on the 16th. And then
16th of December, Carol.
at 5 o'clock. And then I believe Mr. Hurst scheduled the curriculum committee for the 22nd.
22nd at 5:30.
And the next item on my agenda is items of interest from the superintendent. You have newsletters from Wick Elementary, Corey, Barth, and Romulus Elementary Schools. Also, a thank you from the Norman Meyer family in your packet. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, the next item, we got communications and expressions from the public. I haven't been given any. Next item is questions and concerns from board members. Does anybody have anything they'd like to comment on? Ms. Funderburg?
Actually, Wick is having a winter wonderland on December 12th.
You know what time?
It's 5:30.
It's on that calendar we
Yeah.
just got.
It's
5:30 to 8.
5:30 to 8. And it's our first time doing it, so it should be pretty fun.
So it's open to everyone?
Yes.
Correct? Not just the Wick
Not just Wick
Elementary
family,
students?
it's open to everyone.
Did we get a time on that?
5:30 to 8.
At Wick.
Yes.
Okay, is there anybody else?
Did we get a basketball schedule?
I haven't seen one yet.
I just requested when they faxed one over this morning. I'll make sure it's in your packet this weekend.
I
If
got
it
a
was-
schedule.
well,
Right.
If you got your newsletter from the high school, it's right in there. I just took
Yeah,
it off the back.
oh, okay, the last news.
Uh-huh.
Did you get that
Yep.
electronically?
So it's in the last,
Okay, Carol can make some copies for you.
Is there any within the next couple weeks?
they have a game.
Yeah.
They have
actually,
one
yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
They've already started.
Yeah, the Lady Eagles started last Friday.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And the boys start this Thursday.
Okay.
I know wrestling started too, right?
Wrestling
Yeah.
started last
Yeah, it
Wednesday.
started last
Right.
Wednesday.
So I think the fall sports are,
They're rolling. there anybody else got any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay. Next item of business is adjournment. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Buckley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.